What is your idea of perfect happiness?
The first thing that comes to mind is ignorance.
What is your greatest fear?
Living for other people.
What is the trait you most deplore in yourself?
My desire for people to think I'm intelligent.
What is the trait you most deplore in others?
Conformity.
Which living person do you most admire?
Bethany Vernon.
What is your greatest extravagance?
There are so many. Oh, probably spending absurd amounts of money on designer clothes. For sure. At one point I had paid $800 for a pair of Marc Jacobs platforms. I don't have them anymore, but that's the kind of thing I'll do. I made payments on it though. I didn't pay it all at once.
What is your current state of mind?
Passionate, but a bit confused. And I feel a lot like I'm floating a bit. There's a book, it's called The Unbearable Lightness of Being, and that's kind of how I feel, unbearably light.
What do you consider the most overrated virtue?
Political correctness.
On what occasion do you lie?
When it helps other people.
What do you most dislike about your appearance?
The shape of my head.
Which living person do you most despise?
I just like a lot of people, but I don't really despise anybody enough to have one person be like the godhead of that.
What is the quality you most like in a man?
Depth.
What is the quality you most like in a woman?
Charisma.
What or who is the greatest love of your life?
Beauty.
When and where were you happiest?
I guess I'll think the most recent was at a restaurant called the Carbone in Las Vegas.
Which talent would you most like to have?
To play an instrument. I can't play anything. I'm not disciplined enough.
If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
Probably the rigidity of my body. I wish to have a little bit more grace. A little bit. I wish to have a lot of grace when it comes to my movements, my body. I wish to be more flexible and more light on my feet.
What do you consider your greatest achievement?
It would either be moving here with you, or I had sold a 30-inch by 40-inch print one time to a collector for a lot of money. It was more money than I've ever seen in my life when it comes to my art, so that was about a year and a half ago.
If you were to die and come back as a person or a thing, what would it be?
Well, I definitely wouldn't want to come back as like an incarnate of anybody that currently exists. But if I could, I would love to have been like to come back as maybe a burlesque dancer. Yeah.
Where would you most like to live?
Spain, probably, where there's like cliffs by the ocean, maybe Greece.
What is your most treasured possession?
Oh, this is a great one. It would have to be my mind, because without it, I wouldn't be able to interpret anything as that important.
What do you regard as the lowest depth of misery?
A 9 to 5 job, a colonial home, a fuel efficient car, being a soccer mom, that kind of deal.
What is your favorite occupation?
Dreaming, daydreaming.
What is your most marked characteristic?
I would say it's intensity or boldness.
What do you most value in your friends?
Creativity, individuality, a sense of self, and I like people who go against the grain, who are inspiring, and who have carved their own path for themselves.
Who are your favorite writers?
J.G. Ballard, Novikov, Anais Nin, Eve Bobbitts. These are a few.
Who is your hero of fiction?
Ingrid Magnusson from Light Oleander.
Which historical figure do you most identify with?
Anais Nin.
Who are your heroes in real life?
My friends.
What are your favorite names?
I like Mona. I like O names a lot. Moira. Simone. I like Sai for a girl. Bilal for a boy.
What is it that you most dislike?
What do I most dislike in general? It's a very overreaching question. Ugliness, really. I'm a proponent for divinity having some kind of for beauty having some kind of divine pattern or order. And when I don't see that, it's disturbing to me. Maybe the better word would be disharmony. So those are my answers to the Proust questionnaire. I tried to answer them as simply as I possibly could, because I could definitely go out on a tangent for a lot of them. It's also my goal to be able to consolidate my thoughts so that I understand my ideas better. But I would really, really love if you guys responded to this video. I know it's a little bit old-fashioned when it comes to YouTube, but I would really appreciate like video like responses to this, and I'd love for people to answer these questions, just because they are created to better understand yourself, or for the interviewer to understand the interviewee better. They're pretty in-depth questions. They reach within a little bit more than most interview questions. And I think it's important for everybody who watches this channel or appreciates what I do on my channel to to answer these questions and to get to know themselves better. I get a lot of people messaging me and asking me, like, how do I achieve a state of individuality? How do I find out who I am? This is simply another avenue to do that. If you can answer these questions honestly, and usually the first thing that pops into your head is the most honest, so don't dilly-dally around and try and change what your answer would really be. Yeah, this questionnaire is important, I think, for you to get a sense of self. So, yeah. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos being a little bit different, being recorded differently. I definitely feel like my channel is going into a new direction, a bit. So I hope you guys follow along with me, and I hope you guys enjoy the novelty of the videos that I'm creating. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, as always. Don't forget to respond. I would really love to watch your responses. And have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.